Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the First Class, Second Place podcast. I'm your host, Jason Lariccia, and with me today we have another very special guest here. Now, I'm looking forward to this one because just like this guest over here, he's been able to follow his dreams, and he's also been able to help me follow my dreams. And I think that anything that people are going to get out of this episode is that it's never too late and always follow your goddamn dreams. So without further ado, let me introduce my guest. We have none other than Jean S. Lariccia. Is that how you say it? Am I pronouncing it correctly?
Yes, sir.
All right.
No, I'm kidding. I'm Lamar Smith.
Yo, shout out to Lamar.
Shout out Lamar.
Love Lamar, man. Shout out to him, man. Great episode, and yeah, let's get into it, man. So let's start off with the first question that we ask everybody that comes onto the show. And before we do that, though, because I'm remembering now I'm a hack, that we are live in Bravery Studios in Garfield, New Jersey. Shout out to Steve behind the glass. Thank you very much, Steve. Hey, yo, hey. Now we got him mic'd up. Nice. All right, so Jean, so where does the story of Jean begin? Like, where were you born and raised?
I was born and raised in Elizabeth, New Jersey, in Midtown, a.k.a. the Italian section.
Wow, okay. Yeah. All right, so and what was your personal experience like growing up in Elizabeth, in that section?
Felt like something out of Goodfellas. No, I'm kidding.
Or maybe a Bronx Tale?
Probably, yeah. It had its moments. It was tough, but also, like, I had a good childhood there.
That's good.
Yeah. Everybody knew everybody. We were all Italian. We had some people that weren't Italian, but we were all neighbors. We all knew each other. Everybody worked in the stores around there too. But yeah. Okay.
And when you were younger, when you were a kid, like, did you have any dreams and aspirations that you wanted to do when you grew up? Because it seems like, there's either two kinds of people out there. There's either people that only have one dream and they go ahead and do whatever it takes to achieve that, or they try to find themselves and they come up with a bunch of things. Like, I remember I wanted to be an astronaut at one point, but with my grades, it was not going to happen. There was even a point maybe I thought I wanted to be a doctor. There was a whole bunch of stuff. And then ultimately getting into entertainment, like the arts and podcasting and directing and acting, all that stuff, that came along the way. But I did have those kind of dreams when I was younger. So how about you when you were a kid? Like, did you want to be an actor at a very early age, or did you have any other dreams or aspirations that you thought about before?
No, actually. Crazy. I've never told this to anybody or you, actually.
Really? Oh, wow. We got some exclusive here at First Class, Second Place. All right.
I wanted to be a soccer player, actually.
Oh,
Originally.
wow. Okay.
I used to hang out at the Christopher Columbus Park, actually, where I grew up. And we had friends. We'd throw soccer games all the time. Eventually I got into wrestling, but first thing I wanted to do was literally be a soccer player.
All right. Are you still the athlete now?
A little bit.
Okay.
I feel like more, like, athlete-wise, I feel like more of like bodybuilding.
Okay.
And like wrestling still.
All right. And how did you how did you specifically wanted to get into acting? Because that seems to be your dream now, and you're still a pretty young guy. Like, how old are you?
22.
So you're an extremely young guy, and you're just following you're finding your footing and what you really want to do as you enter into adulthood. So, but as far as acting goes, like, how did you get into that in the first place?
So I kept trying out for the wrestling team in, what was it? I think it was middle school. Yeah.
Okay.
Middle school. I did that. I don't know what it was. I don't think that coach liked me at all. I did everything. And when I tell you there was people that were like, am I talking too close? I'm like, yeah. No, but when I tell you there was like people like trying out for the team that did not do anything, I just never understood. But I never made the team. Therefore, at the end, my heart was broken in school the next day, and my gym teacher was like, dude, maybe acting is just not for you. All of a sudden, we had this teacher every Thursday in math class. Sometimes we do math, of course. We have to at school. But we would watch Arrow.
The TV show Arrow. Okay.
Yeah, the TV show Arrow. And for some reason, I was like, you know what? I don't know why, but like, I kind of want to make like something on YouTube, like based off of this. So, got like 3 friends and a iPod, and we that's where it started.
Wow. Okay. Well, you know what? I like that because it's something that just came out of the norm. And you said that you had just gotten your heart broken by not being able to make the team. Yeah. And I think that subconsciously puts you in a vulnerable state where you were actually not it kind of made you, in a weird way, a little bit more open-minded to any other possibilities that are out there. And then afterwards, you watching this TV show was a source of inspiration for you. And I think that when you were in a vulnerable state, that it was something that really inspired you and uplifted you, and then it led you into the position that you're in right now. So it's really funny how everything is hindsight 2020 when it comes to those kind of things. You know, you have to go through adversity, you have to go through drama, you have to go through heartbreak, as you said, and then somewhere along the lines, as you're picking yourself up, you find something that you never thought would, you know, fall into your lap, or you just find an unbridled passion for, and then afterwards it takes you to, it helps you ascend to heights that you never even thought were possible, with the endless possibilities that are dropped at your feet, and so to speak.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Right. And what about, like, besides the TV show Arrow, I mean, what other inspirations did you have? Like, were there any favorite movies of yours that made you think, like, you know what, I want to go ahead with this full time?
So, Mom, don't kill me.
As long as it's not the Playboy Channel or anything.
No. I mean, no.
That's so funny, because you actually had mentioned that you wanted to do Law and Order, but we'll get into that later. Yeah.
No. So I was watching all the Friday the 13th movies.
Ah, okay.
And then I kind of got more into the horror scene. So Friday the 13th was actually a big part of my life and inspiring me into, like, becoming a filmmaker.
Really? What was it about Friday the 13th specifically that wanted to make you a filmmaker? Because I'll give you an example, and I've talked about this ad nauseum on my show. So I saw two films. One was True Lies and the other one was Die Hard with a Vengeance. And not only did I see those movies, but I saw the making of featurettes. And long story short, watching those inspired me to want to be a filmmaker when I was a kid. So with you watching the Friday the 13th movies, what was it about those movies specifically that made you wanted to do just more than, it made you wanted to go into filmmaking per se? Because for me, it was more of like the action. Like, I wanted to shoot like big budget action scenes where, like, you know, Michael Bay type explosions and stuff like that. So what was it about Friday the 13th that put you in that world?
So, like, you know, budget was a thing, you know, and I had like this creative mind as, like, I want to do this, but I want to do this the right way, you know. And then I went on YouTube and I saw, like, everybody was making, like, fan films off of, like, Friday the 13th, and it was, like, super easy and really no cost at all to, like, do. And I was like, it's easy start for me, and, like, I like that it was a bit more realistic too. You know, like, I didn't need to put CGI, nothing. I don't like working with CGI. I don't.
Yeah, no, I think it actually cheapens films these days, you know, especially with, like, these big budget blockbusters. That's why I respect somebody like Christopher Nolan, because he does little to no CGI. He's all about practical effects. And I honestly feel that if more filmmakers were to practice that, and especially if the companies had the budget for it, the money for it, then they could actually shoot it the way that it's intended. But unfortunately, you know, money is always going to be an issue, especially in the industry, and you got to sometimes work with what you have.
100%. We did that for something we were working on, actually. Yeah. No, but like you mentioned Christopher Nolan, like, that's one of my biggest inspirations. Like, I pay attention to him. I study the guy. Like, I've seen all his movies. You know, it's like I want to be a filmmaker like that guy, you know?
Was there one specific Christopher Nolan movie that made you think about that? Like, you know, I want to go full head? Because for me, it was Inception.
For me, it was a Dark Knight trilogy, actually.
I could see that, yeah.
It was all the Dark Knight movies. Yeah, no, that's, I don't know. I've loved Batman. I love Batman since I was growing up. I was a big Spider-Man fan, but Batman was, like, there, you know? Like, I had Batman toy, I had Batman here, there, Batman on the wall, but... Like, I loved the Batman, and Christopher Nolan came out with Batman Begins, and I was like, okay, I got to check this out. Bought it on DVD, and I fell in love with it.
And the rest is history, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, now, you growing up in Elizabeth, New Jersey, and you being into the stuff that you're into, did that kind of made you feel like an outcast in some kind of way? Because it seems like your personality wouldn't fit the, for lack of a better term, like the stereotypical fit of an environment or a town like that.
I feel like other than filmmaking, I feel like I've kind of have always been an outcast somewhat there, but not too much. I could fit into the right places, but I also, like, I just didn't really associate with a lot of people there. You know? I stay away from a lot of stuff there in Elizabeth. And Elizabeth, it's a rough place.
Yeah, it has its reputation.
It does, yeah. No, I've had a lot of people like make fun of me growing up, and like
Really?
just tell me it's weird and like just a bunch of stuff, you know. It's like I can kind of see like, yeah, somewhat of an outcast because everybody else was out there doing stuff in like the streets or whatever and trying to look cool, and I was out here like trying to make things happen, you know, make my dreams happen.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know what though? At the same time, it's also very admirable because you're your own person. You already knew who you were. You were already comfortable in your own skin. You already knew what kind of dreams and aspirations that you had. So you weren't able to fall into the pitfalls that sadly a lot of people end up falling, especially when they become products of their environment. If people out there believe in that kind of thing. But, you know, yeah, maybe they made fun of you or maybe they bullied you and stuff like that. But I think, me personally, from a person that has been bullied before, I think over time it builds character and you're your own person. And I think now it seems like you're on a mission to make everybody proud of you with everything that that you've been doing and that you're about to do in your career.
Yeah, no, 100%, dude. Growing up, like I was a skinny, weak kid, and like I had like the little tie and the khakis pulled up to my stomach.
Like Steve Urkel status.
Yeah, literally Steve Urkel. That's what I was.
Wow.
I got picked on a lot because of like how I was and what I love to do. Yeah, no, I wasn't like this dude that you see right now, you know, like to this day.
But going back to that a little bit though, do you sometimes channel that kind of emotion still to this day in your acting, in your craft?
Yeah, I do. I like doing that with anything really that involves acting, like emotions, anything going on in life. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me give a little bit of backstory for people on how we met in the first place.
Yeah.
So I started the podcast back in 2021, and I was still getting my feet wet, and I was at a point where I was just looking for anybody to come on the show, but I wanted to be within reason. I didn't want no BS guests or anything like that. I wanted like legitimate people that were inspiring to me and that I could certainly, help, inspire others as well because of the opportunities that were presented. So me and my lovely friend Selly, shout out to My Ming, so the My Ming Show, she and I went to this event in Cityplex Theater in Newark. And we went there for two reasons. We went there for finding people to have on our respective platforms, and also we're aspiring voice actors and we want to get into the business somehow, way, shape, or form. So we met a whole bunch of people there. Shout out to A-Hood, shout out to Alonzo Haran, shout out to Lamar, everybody. It was just way too many people to name right now, but you know who you are. But there was just something about Jean that really stuck out to me and Selly more than anybody else. Like there was this look about you and this confidence and everything that made you stick out from the rest of the crowd. And you were you were a very approachable person. We thought you were a good looking kid. You were very respectable and very knowledgeable. And there was just something about your aura, for lack of a better term, that gravitated us to you. And we were really excited to meet you and exchange the information and so on and so forth. Fast forward to a couple of months later, you're working on your TV show Nights, which we are filming season 3 right now. We're in the process of filming season 3. Yeah. We're halfway done. And you happen to reach out to me because there was a part in season 3 that you thought that I would be perfect for. And you asked me if I was interested in being in it. And I'm thinking to myself, I mean, actually, I wanted to get into voice acting, but like acting, I don't know if I'm kind of ready for that kind of thing. That's not something that was on my radar. But you know what? Fuck it. It's an opportunity. I'm not going to let it pass me by. And we went on set, and it's been off the running ever since. Mm-hmm. And I think that in the process of creating this TV show, we've gotten pretty close as far as colleagues and also like as friends as well,
like a family.
Yeah. Absolutely, because 100%. And that's one of the things that I love working on this project Nights. It really feels like we're all in it because we all feel the same passion and the same energy, and we're all reaching for the same goal, and we're all kind of pitted together because we all want something, and we all know what that is. We can't really describe it and put it into words, but it's there. We feel it, and I think that helps us gravitate to this goal that we're trying to get with the show off and running.
Yeah. No. Damn, dude, that touched my heart. No, but Shit. I remember like I was looking for people and I was like, there's like this role, and I remember talking to you at Cityplex.
Hmm.
Um, I was like, you know what, like Jason's a big guy, and it's like he's got like the beard and everything. I was like, I
Right.
think he could fit in this role. I want to see because I we talked about you like doing voice acting, whatever. So I was like, I don't know if he's gonna say yes or not. I remember approaching a few other people. I was like, hey, I know like a few people that can like possibly participate in auditioning. So I reached out to you. I did not expect you to say yes. I thought you were gonna say no.
Am I really that intimidating?
No, no, no. It's just it wasn't that. I just like because I don't know. You look like you have a lot on your plate, man. Like you were busy.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I do have a lot on my plate,
Yeah.
but I actually spoke about this on a previous podcast not too long ago, where yeah, I have a lot on my plate and I do as much as I can, but I also don't do anything that I don't want to if I don't feel like it's going to be beneficial for me and anybody and everybody else that's involved. And life is all about trying new things. I've learned now that I got to be a little bit more open minded. And I think it was also perfect timing because even though I am doing a lot, it was just enough for me to actually fit it into my schedule. And most importantly, and I always preach this to a lot of people, that nobody's ever too busy. It's all about making priorities. And I feel like me wanting to be a part of this with a lot on my plate already, that says a lot. And I find the time to be a part of this because I actually think this is a good opportunity for everybody involved.
Hmm.
I really truly believe that. I wouldn't do anything just for the hell of it. And I'm not that selfish. I'm not that egotistical. And I'm all about passion, man. I've learned through the hard way that you shouldn't go to anything that you don't want to unless you actually really love it and have a passion for it. Otherwise, what the fuck is the point?
Yeah. No, 100% with that. Dude, how did you feel like when I reached out to you, like personally?
I was actually flattered. I was flattered. I was honored, and I actually really like the fact that you thought of me and you remembered me.
Yeah.
Um, and it was something that I was not expecting, like I said, but it's an opportunity, and I figured, you know what, just do it. Maybe I'll like it, maybe I won't, but at least I would say that I gave it a shot. And I feel like from the first meeting that when we met at Cityplex, I had a good feeling about you, and I've like, yeah, I like this kid. I think we could work together, and
It
I
was a
think
damn overcoat I was wearing.
you're blaming it on the overcoat, not the smile, not the hair, not everything else.
No, yeah.
Yeah, no, but I was really fortunate and flattered for the opportunity, and at the end of the day, I'm glad that I did say yes to it because I've been having a blast doing it, and you never know what kind of opportunities will open up for you because not only did you have this part for me, but it allowed me to actually tap into something that I had dreamed about ever since I was 9 years old, and that was actually being in behind the camera and being the person on set to yell action and cut. That was something that I've always wanted, and I put off that dream for a very long time. And then along comes you, and you give me the opportunity to actually help me achieve that dream come true. And I feel like it's only necessary that I help everybody else involved with being able to make my dream come true and help them with theirs as well.
Hmm.
And that's to me, that's the biggest payoff more than anything. But I really appreciate the opportunity that you gave me to direct an episode of Nights. But I guess I want to ask you, what ultimately gave you the confidence to be like, you know what? Because you could have given it to anybody, but you chose to give it to me, and I'm just playing a small role in this TV series. So what was it like? If you don't mind me asking, what was it about you that gave you the confidence to reach out to me and be like, yeah, I want to offer you this chance to direct?
To be honest, dude, like I don't know, things just for me, like I'm a big believer in like things happen for a reason, you know?
Absolutely.
For some reason you popped up in my head and I was like, okay, you know what? I was like, if he's popping in my head, I gotta like contact him. Um, that was just always the thing with me. Like didn't matter who I was like reaching out to. Like if I just thought about that person for some reason, it's like, okay, like if I'm thinking about them, they need to like I need to reach out, you know?
Mm.
Um, yeah, no. That's just in general with that too. Like I've always done that. I didn't realize it until I was 18. I got grounded for really bad grades in school.
I know the feeling.
Yeah. But at that time, I was filming something else for YouTube, and it was getting pretty popular in Elizabeth at the time. And I remember getting punished and like everything taken away from me, whatever. You know, like we were in the middle of filming, and I was taking this very serious. And all of a sudden, this Instagram's like group chat's blowing up, and it was like, "Oh, like where's Sean? Like we need Sean. Like we need to continue the show, whatever." My mom saw that, and I remember her like sitting down with me. You know, she gives me all my stuff back, tells me I'm not grounded, and she's because at first she kind of didn't take it serious because it was like YouTube and all that, you know.
Yeah.
But when she saw that, she was like, "You're keeping like people off the streets, you know, from like doing stuff out there, and like you're having them do something positive." And I never thought about it that way.
You're having an impact on these people, essentially.
Yeah. I didn't think about it at all that way. And then over the past years, like it was still the same thing, but it somewhat like changed a little, you know. Then I started seeing like younger like filmmakers literally pop up in my town. Right now there's a new team out there, and they're like the newer versions of like my team, you know.
Right.
And it's like a legacy. But I'm all about like giving people chances, an opportunity, because like I didn't really have any of that like too much, you know. Like I wished at that time at like age of like 16, like big filmmaker would reach out to me and be like, "Hey, like I want you in this." No, it took me a very long time to do that. So it's like I want to represent not only my city, but like I'm a big believer in representing everything, you know. Like no matter where you're from, I see that you're somebody who's like serious about it and like you wanna do something bigger. I'm gonna help you open that door, you know. Like I wish somebody did it for me. I'm gonna do the same in return, and hopefully the only thing I ask in return from people is do the same thing for somebody else someday. You know, that's it.
And you know, I think that's why you and I have become simpatico, because that's exactly my state of mind when it comes to these kind of things.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know necessarily if I made an impact on anybody's life per se. I hope I have, and I hope I will. But being able to be coming from a place where you didn't have a lot of hope and you didn't have a lot of confidence in yourself, but being able to, you know, rise up from above the ashes, and then afterwards being able to create that for yourself and put yourself in a position to help others with opportunities that they never thought were possible as well. I think that's the biggest payoff for me as well. And like I said, I'm just like you. Although I might say it's a little different, is that I don't want any congratulations or thank you in return. Just don't take what I have to offer to anybody in vain. That's the only thing that I ask.
Don't take it for granted.
Exactly. Don't take it for granted, because, you know, not to sound cocky or anything here, but I feel like being able to do it without any real foundation from anybody else is kind of a rarity. But, you know, it's also a big responsibility to not selfishly do it for yourself and actually do it for others as well, if possible. Because in the end, I think that's where the real power lies anyway.
Yeah, man.
And you say you were a Spider-Man fan at one point, so, you know, what comes with great power comes with great responsibility.
Yes.
The whole thing, yeah.
100%, yes.
Yes, thank you, Steve. So, let's get into Nights a little bit. The season, you know, season 3 is we're filming. We're in the process of wrapping up pretty soon. But what was it about? What was the inspiration and the inception behind Nights? Like, how did you guys get that started off the ground in the very beginning?
So to be honest, we were bored and had nothing to do.
That's okay. That's okay. There's been genius ideas of people just lying around and not doing shit and getting high, getting drunk, whatever, and then afterwards something just pops in their head, you know? Yeah, so that's fine. You know, so you were just bored and just thinking one day, and then what happened from there?
Dude, to like dive deep into it, we were filming, a few of us, we were filming like a Riverdale web series, which we did for a few years. That show started good, kind of went down.
Okay.
At the end, the story was all over the place, like the actual TV show.
Are you a fan, Steve? Oh, you were? Okay.
Yeah, no. Our show at the time, it was about the Southside Serpents. I was actually playing Sweet Pea, like the Southsider. But it was supposed to be about the Serpents, and then we brought the whole supernatural thing in, like Sabrina the Teenage Witch on the show.
Mm-hmm.
it lasted like 3.5 seasons, and we just didn't continue. So we sat there and was like, hey, like, like we can't stop. Like, I feel like there's something more we can do. And the guy that was originally playing Michael on the show, he was like, oh, why don't we do like a vampire like movie or a show? I was like, let's try a show. I was like, what do you have in mind? He kind of took inspiration from Underworld, and we were originally going to go with the idea like that. So originally Nights was going to have like vampires flying around with like guns and stuff. But no, then we took more of a, I hope no children are watching, but we took like a lot of inspiration from True Blood.
Okay.
Yeah, True Blood. And then Vampire Diaries came in, and the originals and Legacies and all those shows. And we just grabbed an iPhone and we started filming the first season. We didn't really think anything of it. As I said, we were bored. We just wanted something to do. So we did the first season, and the first 2 episodes, they dropped on Halloween, and it was doing pretty good. Like, we were streaming it live, and the comments were actually pretty, like, insane. People were enjoying it. People were shocked at, like, certain moments throughout the episodes, and we kept going. When we reached the season final of the first season,
Season finale, yeah.
Yeah, because everybody that doesn't know, like, I was playing twins on the show. One was a werewolf, Alec, which is a Viking name, and then Alexander, who's the main guy that I play. Mm-hmm. Alexander died at the end of season 1, and
spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, yeah. Doesn't really count. That season came out a long time ago.
Yeah. If you weren't watching that, what are you doing with your life? No, I'm just kidding.
Or go to hell before you die. No,
the Italian came out of you in that one, man.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. No, when my character died at the end of season 1, we had people actually crying. Like, people were like blowing up the Instagram page and everything. It's like, Alexander didn't deserve to die. He was misunderstood. I had friends that would call me and they had like literal tears in their eyes. Then I played it for my mom. My mom started crying too. I was like, what is happening right now? And then I called Anais and I called the rest of the team.
Shout out to Anais, yeah.
Anais Munoz, the showrunner. No, we all talked about it. It was like, guys, like, what are we gonna do? Like, what's happening? We weren't used to what was happening, and we were like, you know what? Let's do season 2. Let's get a different camera though this time and like go a little bit bigger. So we did, and we brought the character back, whatever, and everybody loved it. Mind you, that character was not supposed to come back, and we didn't even know if we were gonna do a second season.
But there's a lot of TV shows that go through that. I remember one of my favorite TV shows, 24. They just did a couple of episodes, and it was so unique in how they shot it. And then they finally got picked up for the rest of the season. And then, I remember Kiefer Sutherland talking about, like, he goes to the creator and he goes like, all right, we got picked up. I'm excited. And they were like, yeah, I don't know how we're going to finish the rest of the series. But it happens. It's a regular thing. But what I love hearing about that story right now is it really seemed that people were invested in this, and here's the other thing that's very unique about the show. So me personally, I'm not into vampires and werewolves and all that shit. I'm the old man on the lawn when it comes to that kind of shit. It's just not my forte.
Yeah.
But the fact that I have been invested into the show, and also now that I'm a part of the show, actually resonates. Actually speaks volumes to how it resonates with other people, that you don't have to necessarily be a horror fan or a vampire fan or any of these other, tropes that, you have to be into in order to like it. I think that you guys have been able to find a way to make it enjoyable for everybody across the board.
100%. I think it was just a story mainly. Like season 1, for example, like there wasn't really any villains. Like the twin Alexander I was playing, he was the villain of the season,
Right.
And I came in, people said I killed the role, and like the story was just about the siblings, like they've had like this beef with each other for like centuries, and then finally Alexander comes back after not being around for a while. He comes back to the small town of Cranford, New Jersey, and chaos happens, Nobody knows why he's back. They're trying to figure out why. In reality, he just came out because he wanted to come back home. He wanted to be with his siblings again, But they didn't like want him there, so they killed him. But Um, yeah, the plot of the first season was just like family fighting between each other, you know, very toxic family. And season 2, that's when like things like got more interesting. We didn't even know what to do for the second season. We sat, I think, like we sat in a room for like from like 8 o'clock to like probably like 3 in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah, thinking of like what are we gonna do for a second season? Are we gonna do a second season? And we were like, you know what? We looked through a bunch of like these modern day like vampire TV series, and we noticed one character that was not getting brought in, and it was Dracula. No mention, nothing at all. You know, we're like,
That's crazy.
yeah, I was like, why is like Dracula not getting like, brought into anything? So we were like, let's bring Dracula to the show. He could be the big bad of season 2, you know. And they were like, why is he going to be showing up to America, you know, to this small town? And they were like, everybody kept talking about their father in season 1. Nobody really knew how he looked or who he was. Dracula comes in and he's revealed to be the father of the knights. So, yeah. Dracula had a one-night stand with Mrs. Knight. Well, not one, few of them.
Wow, that's why Steve is the champ of the show, man. So, it's not just with Knights, but also just as your career as an actor and going so on and so forth. You have a lot of things going good for you. I mean, you have Knights, and then you have all these other projects in the works and everything. And you know, with Knights, what I think, as I mentioned before, of why it's able to resonate with so many other people that are not even part of this, you know, that are into this kind of genres. You mentioned that toxic family, and I think that characters that are fictional but they have everyday human problems is able to resonate, and that's why I think so many people gravitated towards the show, and they put an investment into into your character per se, and that's why they were all upset, and that's why they wanted more. They wanted the continuation of the story. But as far as like acting goes, and with Knights and everything that you got going on, what would you say are some of the trials and tribulations of your career going and trying to get it off the ground? Like, what are the things and the hurdles that you feel like you've had to go over, and to make sure that your career doesn't get stalled as an actor?
Probably gonna get hated right now by the industry in general.
Keep it real. Keep it real. You're on the perfect platform to keep it real.
Keep this real. I can curse, right?
Yeah.
The industry's a real bitch. No, especially with the show, I've learned this a lot. Just like season 1, like it started, it was just a small group of us, and we were all friends. We all went to the same school. We grew up with each other. We're from the same town. And then season 2 came in. Now we were starting to meet more people, but they weren't like official actors or anything. They were just friends of friends. Season 3 came in, and like the networking events and stuff in Newark, like started going there, and people just started reaching out, following the pages, and like now, we got picked up by a network, a new network for a Roku television, and like a few other platforms. Now we have people that work literally in the industry that are on the show, or people watching the show that are in the industry, and it's like it's kind of a bit stressful, but it's also cool at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But then you start to realize there's a lot of like fake people in the industry. I've had people try and take over this entire project left and right since like the beginning of season 3.
Wow.
Yeah. It's crazy. But that's definitely something. Other than that though, like good parts, I say meeting all the people, and then like recently I've been meeting fans. I've been getting stopped on the street in my town by like high schoolers and stuff that watch the show, and they're like, hey, like either they're like, oh, you're that guy from like Knights, or they like say my name, and it's like,
right, that's
pretty cool. Like there was this in front of my old school, there was these kids and they were filming a Spider-Man fan film, and I like walked up to them. I was like, aren't you guys like this new group filming like the Spider-Man film? And they like their jaws dropped there, and they're like, wait a minute, you're the guy from Knights. And I'm like, yeah. I was like, damn. It was funny too because I think I was just texting the group chat that day too for our show. I just bought my tux for the premiere.
Right.
And like I came across them, I'm holding my tux and everything. I'm talking to them, but like I need to go, you know. It's like it was cool, you know.
See, you're not the only one with a lot of honors played as well. You got a lot of things going on.
Yeah, dude. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, but getting stopped by fans, meeting fans. I can't believe I'm saying fans. You know, like that's. I don't think that's ever something I would like get used to for a while.
No, I hear you.
Yeah, but then. Like the places we film at too, like a lot of the local businesses and they support us, you know, and that's it means a lot. And I didn't expect this for this, you know, for this show. I didn't think the show was going to go anywhere, but it did. What else? Yeah, well, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, okay. No, but so I actually wanted to ask you something really quick, and it kind of falls into line what you were just talking about. I read here that you had tweeted out not too long ago, welcome to the industry where you realize most people are fake and only care about status until they come across the wrong person.
Yes.
So that's basically falling in line with everything you were just saying right now. Is that strictly within the industry, or it has to do with personal as well?
Within the industry.
Okay.
You know, as I said, I've had people try and take over the show. You know, it's like, what the hell? You know, like, they want to put their name there. They want to get this type of credit, be the director or producer or whatever, but like they don't put in the work, you know?
Right.
And it's like, it's not your project. It's not all about you. You have your own thing. You have a good name for yourself. Let the little guys have a piece, you know? Like, this is like our thing. Let us do our thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now even with the acting industry too, is just growing up as well. I mean, a lot of people, some people know that like I'm the son of a fashion designer, you know, Fantasia Veneziana. I grew up in the fashion world, and my mom has dealt with a lot of shit in there. You know, she's come across like managers that have tried to like fuck her over, or like just fake people in general, you know? No, like I remember I met this one lady. I'm not going to put names out there. I was only 16. I was just getting into the fashion industry. I didn't really want to do it, but I gave it a shot. I was modeling for a magazine, and like this lady would not stop like trying to like get in front of like my iPad camera.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is going on here? All because I said I was vlogging. You know, I never uploaded the vlog ever. That's just an example. You know, like that same person fucked over my mom at the end. So now I'm 22. Now I'm getting deep into this, and I feel like I'm going through the same thing my mother did, you know? So it's like,
I mean, that kind of falls in line with another tweet that I see here, and it goes to show how close that you are with your mom. You said, "I'm bringing you home, Mom. It's my turn to protect you."
Yes, I'm not going to dive too much into it, but there was an incident that happened a while ago. You know, ambulances, police, all that stuff. And, you know, I was pissed off. For those who don't know, I used to be like a first responder at one point. I don't want to say too much about the city that I live in.
That's right. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, but no, like a lot of stuff happened that night. So I was like, you know what? Like my mom literally, she raised me by herself technically, you know?
Right.
I have a stepfather. I didn't like have my biological father in my life fully. But no, like my mom went through like days and nights without eating food, you know? And any food that she had, she would put in my stomach. You know, it's like, I'm 22 now. My mom's going through a lot right now. It's my turn, you know? I'm going to take care of my mom. I tell everybody one day, I'm like, the first thing I'm doing, like if this acting career goes any further.
When it does, not if, when.
When this acting career goes any further and like big money comes in, whatever. I'm not really the type, a lot of people know this, I'm not the type who cares about money, but when that happens, the first thing I'm doing is bring my mom back to Italy. You know, her home, her family. So she always talked about it like, oh, you're like, I want to move back to Italy someday. You know, so it's like, I'm going to buy my mom a nice house in Italy. Or if it's still there, I'm going to buy her mom's house
I love that. I love the goals that you're setting for yourself. Round of applause, real quick, Steve. Thank you so much. Yeah, no, that's a very touching story, man, and I could tell that this really means a lot to you. You know, and I could see. I don't know your mother personally, but based on the kind of character that I know that you are, it seems like that she had a lot to do with this. So, you know, as far as I'm concerned, she's a real MVP. So shout out to moms. It's actually really true. Another thing that you said a while back, where you were like, sometimes family isn't family. Stop trying to put it back together. And the only reason that I bring that up is because this whole thing of nights, it does feel like a legitimate family. Yeah. And I've been very, very open and vocal about the fact that I am of the belief that family doesn't always have to be blood. I mean, some of the greatest people that have had my back are not even my own blood relatives. Yeah. And that's at the end of the day, those who I consider my actual real family, because I know that I could depend on them and I can count on them as much as they can count on me. And I think that when you reach an endeavor like we're doing right now, it's a beautiful thing to see blossom. And it's just and I think that's one of the reasons why me and everybody else that we have come in contact with, and especially when it comes to the show, has been everything has been real, as far as like the gratitude and everything that we have said about you and about Lamar and about Eileen and everybody else involved, because it is legitimate. We're not just saying this because we're trying to promote a product. We actually are legitimately proud to be a part of this. And ironically, you know, the champion of the show, aka Steve behind the glass, he has definitely got an opportunity to be a part of you know, nights. And I'm looking forward to seeing that beautiful 100%. Beard on screen.
I stole his bourbon bottle on camera, and he was like, "What the fuck?"
First and foremost, we want to thank each and every one of you guys out there for purchasing tickets to the event. We have officially reached our goal, but there's still plenty of tickets left for people to come out and check out this thing. And I was just really proud today when you gave me the news that we reached our goal in order to have this event, because I said it from the beginning, bro. I had no worries. I was completely confident that we were going to reach our goal. We did have a little bit of, you know, trepidation that it may or may not happen, but throughout it all, I remained confident, and I think that just shows that this is a testament to how, you know, the turnout is going to be great and how much people really believe in this.
I do want to add something onto those tickets.
Of course.
Yeah, no, we reached our goal, as we said. But yeah, no, if you guys out there, if you don't live in New Jersey, or if you do, or like somewhere far, whatever, feel free to purchase a ticket. That ticket makes money for us to continue doing the show and doing what we love to do. We're getting ready to like get a new camera, you know, and like a few more props and locations. So with the extra money we have left, that's going to fully go into our show and like make more magic for the rest of the people watching the series, you know? So yeah.
Right.
Also, with that, we could continue bringing more special guests onto the series.
Absolutely. 100%. Absolutely. We might have to expand Steve's character by any chance. Like, yo, that guy took my bourbon. I'm coming back for him.
Miko comes back and like rains hell and everybody.
Yeah, shout out to Miko. Yeah.
Shout out Miko.
Yeah. So, but yeah.
No, that's sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's good. You go.
No, that's another thing I wanted to dive into, man. Lydia, shout out to Lydia Diaz, man.
Yes, shout out Lydia. Love her.
Shout out to Lydia. Lydia a few years ago introduced me into the series Euphoria, right?
Yes.
I heard about it. I had no interest in it. Just like vampires when I was younger, I had no interest in it until now.
Something I don't have interest in either.
Yeah, but Lydia like really got me hooked onto the show, so I started watching.
It's a good show.
Yeah, and like I remember seeing Miko's character Mouse on the show for a bit until like they killed him off. Lydia's a freaking diehard fan of the show. And like we were having a personal conversation at one point about the series, and I told her, I was like, you know what? It's like, we're gonna do this, you know? I was like, I don't know if it's gonna be Zendaya or somebody, but like we're gonna work with one of these people one of these days. It happened. I talked to Miko at a movie premiere in the Cityplex theater where we're actually gonna be at.
Yeah.
For a film A-Hood did called Umbrella. Shout out to A-Hood.
Yeah, shout out A-Hood. He's coming on the show soon.
Yeah. No, I remember Miko was there. I was kind of freaking out. He didn't show up to the first screening, so I was like, okay, I don't think he's coming, you know? Then people were telling me, he's like, stick around, you know? So I stayed for the 9 o'clock screening, and Miko showed up, you know? And like I remember being intimidated but nervous as hell. I was like, this is not happening right now. Like, this is not happening. I'm this freaking kid from Elizabeth, New Jersey, you know? All I do is freaking independent films on YouTube and like small stuff, you know, with like not really big famous people. And I talked to Miko and he talks back to me. I was like, whoa, okay, this is happening. And I was like, I want to introduce you to somebody. So I FaceTimed Lydia and she was screaming over the phone. I was like, damn, this is happening. He was like, Mouse is alive. Mouse did not die.
Yo, I love that. That is awesome.
No, and then after that, like after the red carpet event kind of settled down, everybody was done taking pictures with him. I approached him and I was talking. I was like, hey, like I have this show, you know, about vampires and stuff. It's like we should work together. And he's like, yeah, like hit me up, you know? And we traded Instagrams and I contacted him. He actually replied back and bam, he's on the show.
Yeah. I got to a lot. I actually got to act alongside him as well.
Yeah, That's were in cool. That scene.
Yeah. That is crazy.
You were in that scene.
It would have been possible without you, bro.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
No, honestly, it wouldn't have been impossible without any of us. This team.
I love that. I love the groundedness right there.
This is not my project. It's not Anais's project. It's not Lydia's. It's our project. You know.
Correct.
We worked our asses off for half an entire year on season 3. You know. So,
but it's been a hell of a ride.
It is.
Yeah, we have one hell of a fucking ride. Hell of a ride. A lot of injuries. I've gotten nicked up a couple of times.
We should get into injuries.
We will. You know what? You know what? We'll get into the injuries and everything else at the Q&A, which people, like I said, you can still buy your tickets. We're going to put the link in the description for Eventbrite for season. So this episode comes out Friday, so you guys still have plenty of time to get your tickets to go see season 3 Nights at Cityplex Theater in Newark, New Jersey. Please show up and support. But yeah, I think we're gonna leave it at that. If anybody else wants to know more, they got to come to the premiere, or they could also check out season 1 and 2 that is now available on YouTube. And season 3 will be coming very, very soon. I'm really, really excited for that. But yo, Sean, I really appreciate you coming through, man. This has been a long time coming. This has been a lot of fun. The whole journey has been a great time, you know, being with you. Yeah. Now, before we go, I just have one more question that I like to ask everybody at the end of the show. And if you've seen the show, you know what's coming next. So you, Jean, if they were to make a movie on your life, and what a hell of a life the story that it would be, which actor would you like to see portray your character and why? We need the Jeopardy theme song.
Yeah, put that thinking music on real quick.
Love it. No right or wrong answer.
It's gonna sound crazy, but
go ahead.
I would like Finn Wolfhard to play me.
Who's that?
From Stranger Things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. We look too much alike. We don't.
Well, no. Listen, they don't have to look like you. It's just somebody that you feel would like really bring out your character the best.
I would 100%. Dude, the way I grew up, I'd 100% like to make a film. Like, I'd like to direct and have Finn Wolfhard play me, you know?
Oh, okay.
Or Tom Holland, you know?
All right. Hey, you were able to get Miko. Who says that you can't?
Tom Holland. Are you listening?
Yeah. Put it to manifestation, bro. Put it to manifestation. Yes. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for this episode of First Class, Second Place. Thank you so much to my guest, John. I almost said the last name. I'm going to let you say it, man. It's your name. I'm going to let you say it.
Lamar Smith. I'm kidding.
Shout out to Lamar Smith, man. Love you, brother.
No, Jean S. Lariccia.
Lariccia. There you go. I'm going to get used to that. I'm going to get used to that. Yeah. So, but thank you so much for coming through, Gene. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to before we close out?
2 people.
Okay, go right ahead.
My mom, my brother who's a knucklehead. My 2 lovely, beautiful sisters, Lamar, you.
Thank you.
A-Hood, Hawk.
Tupac?
No, not Tupac. He's probably in Cuba watching this. Who knows?
Okay.
Jamie, freaking Emma Littig.
Yes,
Oh my
shout out
God,
to Emma. Yeah.
Emma pulled through for that entire thing.
She's the MVP in this whole endeavor.
Yeah, Nico pulled through, man of his word. Soup Williams. Yeah, dude, who else?
Everybody.
Everybody. Leo, Lydia, you know, all the original cast members. Shem Mosley.
Yes.
You know, yeah, and Top Hats.
Top Hats, there we go. All right, look, shout out Elizabeth.
And outcast.
All right, and we're going to find you on social media real quick.
You can find me on Instagram at 1792.guy. A lot of people ask me why that name. It's my favorite bourbon.
Okay. We got to get a sponsorship from them real soon. Yeah, absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, you can find me at JasonEnrique_ on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Threads, all social media platforms. Don't forget to like, subscribe on YouTube, and don't forget to subscribe to First Class, Second Place on all streaming platforms. This has been the First Class, Second Place podcast. We out.